Alright, quick thing real quick. I'm sorry about the whole, like, you can thing at the beginning of the video. I'm recording this on the YouTube site itself, which is also why the quality is really bad. Um, Second off, I know I just uploaded a video, but I said I'd upload this one, so yeah. Um, if I, if I, yeah, if I look upset, that's probably because I am. Um, this video is gonna kind of like hit home, really close to home for me, and it's gonna be going like, I have followers on Twitter that I used to go to school with that never knew this about me, and I'm not sure if I want them to know, but I mean, if they know and they see, oh shit, this girl was fucked up because she was bullied. I don't care if you don't think you were bullying me, you were. And if you realize that, then okay. I'm not saying this to like purposely jab at you. I'm just, yeah, it's. I think you kind of like. I think you should know just because, yeah. Um, I don't actually hate any of you. I promise. I just kind of hope I never see you around in public because I am legitimately terrified of what some of you have done to me. And I know that that's a really bad thing to say, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of bad comments on here. Um, but yeah, I've been wanting to make this video for a really long time because I recently followed another or subscribed to another YouTuber, and then followed her on Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram. She's the sweetest person ever. It's Unique RKW, and she's going through a kind of like a rough time, and I watched almost all of her videos on both her main channel and on her vlog channel, and I don't know, it kind of made me think about myself and how I was treated and how my mind is now. And the reason I'm making this video while my parents aren't here is because if they overhear me talking about this, then shit could go down. Like me putting this up in a YouTube video with the whole disclaimer in front of it, like, oh no, this is not what's happening like currently in my head. This is what has happened to me. This is kind of like a mix-up of my story and like my views on. I'll say that later because I'm not exactly excited to make this video, but I really want to make it because it's like it's something that's important to me. But like I can't edit this either. Sorry. But I was definitely bullied when I was younger because I remember multiple words that ended up getting added to like my personal list of words that just if I'm called that I will break down crying, and it got longer since I left, which is I think the worst thing in the world. But it started out with bitch. That was definitely my first word. Well, unless you count what my brother used to call me, but that's yeah. Okay, no. Okay, how about this? The first word was loser. That one doesn't affect me quite as much as anything after that, but then it was useless and worthless, and that's all what my brother used to call me. And he still thinks that it never hurt me at all, and it did. And then when I started getting bullied, it was kind of like shortly after third or fourth grade or somewhere in there, cause third grade was like the last year in which I could have considered myself popular. And back then I didn't think that I was that obnoxious, because I mean like all little kids are obnoxious. Like from like when I see someone who my parents say, oh, they're just like you were, I'm like, and then I'll see another kid almost exactly like them, it's like, oh no, that's completely different. I'm like, are you sure? They're both obnoxious to me. I didn't, so I think for like kid to kid I wasn't as obnoxious as I could have been, but, like, I think at one point, I think this is where a lot of my, like, trust issues nowadays come from, is from this school. Highline Academy, just so you guys know, small charter schools that are really good education-wise might not be the best social-wise. Like, honestly, send one kid there. If the kid there ends up coming home crying for whatever reason, get him the fuck out. Because I came home crying once. It was like, oh no, it'll pass. Never passed, by the way, guys. Yeah, no, it sucks. It sucks that I have to live with this, live with these memories for the rest of my life. But like, after that, like, 4th grade, it wasn't too utterly excruciating, because it was like, oh, I mean, they're just teasing, right? They're still my friends, right? No, they weren't. They were. I mean, they were teasing, but teasing. When has teasing ever been used in a good light ever? Like, it's not. And then 5th grade came, and it was just like, oh, yay, have a best friend. And I honestly didn't care at this point, but thinking back on it, I realized that when I didn't, like, when I put a front out, I normally think about it so much that I start to, like, believe in it, and that I am actually, like, this front that I'm putting out. And now that I think about it, on the days when it was, like, really bad, it actually really got to me. And I never thought of that before now, or not before now, but before high school, about how some of the things that they were saying actually really got to me, even though I pretended like they didn't. And then 6th grade came, and it was like almost the worst year. 7th grade was definitely the worst year, but 6th grade is when it got worse. Because that's when that's middle school. That's when everyone turns into a douche nugget, no matter who they are. I'm going to try and not cuss in this one, because I don't want anything to happen to this video, just in case. And 6th grade was just, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad. It was, sorry, I'm actually really cold right now, and I grabbed the wrong hoodie, sorry. And so 6th grade was bad, but it wasn't as bad as 7th grade, and the reason I say that is because in 7th grade, that was when the main instigator of the bullying actually came around. Like, before I was bullied by, like, all of these, like, this nice little group of people that were just like, no, you're a bitch, no, don't, go away, and just, like, just mean in general. And then 7th grade was this one person that just tipped the iceberg for me, and, I'm gonna have, like, an edited thumbnail for this that says trigger warning, and I promise you guys, I do not promote self-harm. I will never, if you ever ask me, hey, how do I do this better, how do I do that better, I will never ever tell you, don't get out as soon as possible, please. But sorry, that was a little side rant. I'm sorry. If you can't see, I'm a little kind of don't wanna, yeah. But he's the one who started people, like, he and the other kid, and the other kid, I know that he doesn't do this, but the other kid, like, monkey see, monkey do, that's what it was. But the main person was like, okay, well, this girl doesn't have any boobs, so she must not be female, right? And mind you, I had really long hair at this, like, not long hair, but long enough that I looked feminine. So I don't see where he got this idea from, but he started calling me he, she, and it. Like, I used to have a card with quotes from both of these kids with times and dates of when this happened, so I could use it as proof to say that they were bullying, and I showed a teacher, and they were like, oh no, that's teasing. That is not an excuse. It is never, an excuse. If something hurts, if something is obviously an insult, teasing is not an excuse. You cannot use, oh, I'm just teasing, or, oh, learn to take a joke. Learn to take a joke is almost worse, because then it implies that you have no sense of humor, and it hurts worse. Like, and I can't even bring any of this to a teacher, because the kid will just say, oh no, I was just teasing. No, that is not okay. That is not okay. That is not how it works. Teasing doesn't necessarily go away when you say, oh, I was just teasing. Oh, I was just making a joke. No, it hurts worse, because then it makes you feel like, oh, now you're the bad guy for not taking the joke like you should have. And if you take it, it gets worse, and it just piles up. And I couldn't find a way out. And, like, I couldn't find a way out, but it's like, I had a distraction, but I couldn't find a way out. At the time, it was the whole false front thing, where it's like, I was putting it up, it's like, okay, I believe in this. But whenever they called me it, or he, she, it would stick, and the false front would start to crumble in little places. I stopped walking with friends through the hallway. I barely had any, I had like 3 friends, 4. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like 8th grade was, like, I literally stopped giving a shit about anything. 8th grade I almost failed. Like, out of everything. The only reason I didn't was because it was like, oh, tests. And that's the only ever reason I don't fail nowadays. Is because I learn the shit, I just don't turn the homework in because it stresses me out so much. Anxiety and all of this other stuff. And so I never know what to do anymore when someone calls me something. I don't know if I should, like, laugh it off, or if I should, like, take it seriously and tell someone, and then have the same thing happen again, because it happens every time. Every time. I think I have a list on my Tumblr, or one of them, I don't know, and I wrote it down of every last word that affects me. Useless, he, she, it, tranny developed from he, she, and it, because if I'm a he, she, then I must have both parts, right? So tranny came from that, literally, from my own mind. I don't think I was ever called that. My own mind was against me at that point. It, worthless. Oh gosh. That one developed from my brother with loser and useless. Bitch. Slut. Slut's not even like, slut is something that developed from freshman into sophomore year. That's something that my opinion, an opinion of myself came along. I have shitty self-esteem because of the bullying that happened when I was little that I will never get over. And even if I do get over, I'll have these days that are just shitty. Excuse my language. But yeah, and then this year, God, don't cry, don't cry, God damn it. But this last year, like literally just this semester, I got into a fight with my best friend. I actually think it was just barely over summer break, but I don't even know what I did. I can't even remember what I did, but at one point she sent me this text message that was just horrible, and I tell her that it fucking hurt and that she shouldn't have done it. Sorry. And then she says that I'm the one bullying her. God damn. And so it's she was honestly my best friend. Like, I couldn't, like, we walked in step, like, perfectly no matter what, and we knew what the other was wanted at that point in time. We didn't even have to ask, and I actually miss her a lot right now. Jesus Christ, stop crying. Um, but in the text messages, she called me over dramatic, and like right now I can see why. It doesn't. It's a word that I can see it applying, and it hurts a lot more right now because it's still fresh. But like, she called me over dramatic, and she said that anyone who ever dated me thought that I was the devil. And when I said, why did you, sorry, I want to make sure I'm telling this shit right so that I'm not, like, gonna get yelled at later. Because I probably still have the picture of it. Because I took a screenshot because I was upset. And I wasn't even mad. I was sobbing my face off. This isn't me being what she said was, this isn't me being a bitch, Nika. This is me reaching a critical mass of your drama, and it's not just me. You victimized and many others. Your American slang language name means drama, and anyone you've ever dated thinks you're practically the devil. And then she sent another one 5 minutes later, because I didn't reply, because I don't know, my phone must have died or something. And I said, I don't want to be the villain in this story starring you and your self-diagnosed mental illnesses. Don't try to sell me for some fiery bitch for making a choice for my own well-being. I'm not even mad at her. I'm not even mad at her for saying that. I hate myself for it. I hate myself for doing whatever I did to make her so mad that she had to send those to me. That I can't even remember at this point. All I can remember is how shitty I felt. And then when we finally made up, I apologized for everything I had ever done to her, because when people start attacking me, I try to attack back, because that's the only way I've ever known. And so she tried to say, oh no, you're harassing me. No, I wasn't. I was trying to fight back. God damn. And she's gonna see this and be like, what the ever-loving fuck did you put that up for? You're making me look like the villain. And no, I'm not. I'm saying that it hurt. You can see me crying, and I'm not faking it this time. Oh, God. And so, when we made up, I apologized for all the stuff I ever did, because I knew that I was in the wrong, too. I know that I had done some bad stuff, too, and I apologized for it. But you know what she said when I apologized? Like, alright, I accept. Come sit with us. She didn't even apologize for what she had done. I mean, I'm sitting here crying because I hate myself over something that I probably shouldn't. And oh, goddamn. Oh, fucking Twitter. Whatever. And when I asked when I finally was so fed up with, I probably didn't even ever delete the conversation either. I still have a folder dedicated to pictures of her. And I sound like I'm like heartbroken or something, but no, I'm not. Oh, I did delete it. That's good. Keep me from dwelling on it more than I should. But at one point she texted me saying, "Love me." And right there I just broke. Because for the past few weeks she had been like undermining my self-esteem in a way where she could easily just say, "Oh, I'm just joking, learn to take a joke." And I was so scared to stand up to her. Uh, and I couldn't take it anymore when she said love me. I'm like, well, I would if, it made sense to. And I know that was probably not a good thing for me to have said. But I was fed up. I was done. And she's like, alright, I'm confused. Are we fighting? And I can't even remember what I said afterwards, and I don't want to, but I started talking about how, why didn't you apologize? I apologized for my shit, why didn't you? And I'm not even mad at you for the shit you did anymore, I'm mad that you didn't apologize. And she's like, well, because I'm in the right, no matter what. Ah, Jesus, fuck. You guys can see the tissue box right behind me too, and I don't know why I'm not using it. Over dramatic, yeah. Okay, this is definitely a little bit more centered on bullying than I thought it would be. Sorry. And I told her, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. Now I'm not even cold and shaking. Bailey, if you ever see this, this is what words do to you. This is what happens when you never learn to stand up for yourself like you did. I've always admired you. You've always been so strong. But I've always cared about you. I love you. You're my platonic soulmate. You always have been. But I can't understand why you would do this to someone and then say that it was their fault. I don't know what thoughts are mine or what were put there from what everyone has told me that I am. I can't. The past few days, I just can't anymore. And like even talking about it hurts, and I haven't ever been able to tell anyone my entire story. I didn't even tell you guys the entire story of my life. But as far as I know, that's what happened to me. I don't like snot. Snot's gross. And I'm probably gonna get called over dramatic again for this, and attention seeker, and all of this other stuff, and I don't have self-esteem that can take this. Why would anyone ever do this to anyone? How heartless do you have to be to cause someone this much pain? When I finally let my front drop in first, or not in first grade, what am I talking? In freshman year, I got called a bitch before the first semester was even over. And I had, I was already, I had already tried self-harm in 7th grade, and it just poured right back. It just came back with a vengeance. And I know he didn't mean it, but I thought he did in the moment, and he didn't apologize until like 2 days later when he saw me again. And then afterward, on every bad day or week or or month afterwards, it would just keep coming. I have scars that will never heal because of something that happened years ago. Something that is just as addicting as drugs. And I don't, why would you ever make fun of someone? What if, I don't fucking care. Sorry, language, I should watch my language a lot more than I do. I don't care what you say. I don't care what they did to you. This is not okay. And I can't help but think that it's all my fault. It's my fault that Bailey they that Bailey thinks that I'm over dramatic, because clearly I am. I'm sitting here crying on camera that's gonna go on the internet. This has actually been built up throughout the day. And all throughout the day, I was just thinking, why doesn't anyone notice that I feel like shit? I barely talked to anyone today, really. I just... and just like no one noticed that I just stopped talking. Sometimes, like, I would stop in the middle of a sentence and they wouldn't notice. And there have been times when I would start talking multiple times, well, just in the past week, where I start talking and someone else starts talking in the middle of it. They would just interrupt me, like I wasn't even there. And and it hurts to know that people probably wouldn't notice. I can think of really only 3 people who would care and notice and feel bad or even remotely sick to their stomach that something that happened in my past that like happened for like a week, just like literally only about a week long, that happened this year, that it threw me back. After being bullied for 5 years and then someone doing it again for only about a week. And it's like I've lost all the progress I made. I had made so much progress, and it's gone. Because some people don't think. They don't think. And Bailey doesn't think I'm depressed because she thinks it's just something to get attention, and I can tell, because otherwise, why would she call me over dramatic? Why would she say self-diagnosed mental illnesses? I forgot a word on the list that I've always thought of. Ugly. I want to end the video, but I know I have more to say. This is why you plan shit out. Sorry, when snot starts dripping down my face, it has to come out. Gross. Ugh. But, I mean, I'm terrified of Bailey now. Now that I think people gossiping behind your back is worse than saying it to your face. To be perfectly honest, or through text, it's worse than someone saying it to your face, because I've always had people tell me what I am to my face. And anytime I ever heard a rumor about me, that it was just like, what? How could you say that? You don't even know me. You haven't even asked me. And I'm scared that she's talking about me behind my back, even though she probably isn't. I'm scared to be in the same room as her. Last night I had a nightmare that, I never have nightmares, they just don't happen. I had a nightmare that she was just like the main person who bullied me in middle school. And then I get to school and she's there and I'm like, oh shit. Sorry. And I'm scared of someone I used to be best friends with. And I'm scared that if I'm anywhere near her at any point in time, and I even say something that just sounds remotely insulting, that she'll just snap at me, and that she'll just turn into another bad bully. What the fuck? Who the fuck is calling me? No! Shut up. Funny thing. That was someone else who wasn't really helping either. Even though he said he'd keep helping. That was Dan, or Daniel, or whatever the hell he wanted to be called. I can't even remember. And I know he'll probably see this, and I don't care. 'Cause I've told him not to call me a bitch. And he kept doing it. And doing it. And that's just... I told him, just, please don't call me a bitch. I was called that when I was bullied, and and if I hear it again, I'm going to break. And I told him right out. And then a day later, he calls me and says, why are you being such a bitch? And I just went silent. Because I was trying not to cry. And he was just like, I'm teasing. No! That doesn't help! That makes it worse. That makes it seem like I'm the one who can't take a joke. It's not a joke. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, just how can you say someone isn't valid when you don't even know what they've been through? Bailey never knew the extent of what I've been through. I just said, oh no, I was bullied. Because most of the time, I can't bear to say more than that. Because most of the time when I think about it, I think, well, people really must hate me. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I learned that I could never really truly hate someone. I can get really, really mad sometimes, but I can never truly hate someone because I don't want them to have another person to think that another person hates them. There's this one person who just really gets on my nerves, and this person just annoys me. But I could never hate her, ever. Because when I actually take the chance to like hang out with her, she's really, really nice. But I can't help but think that she must hate me. I can't help but think that Bailey hates me. That her new best friend hates me too. That people that I barely know hate me just for existing. Because I was told almost all my life that I am not worth being on this planet. That I am not worth what I have been through. That my experiences aren't valid because they're coming from me. God damn it, my parents are probably home. Ugh. Alright. Bye, losers. Not losers. I actually love you. Sorry. I'm sorry.